Well, hey, good morning, Abundant Life Church. Happy Tuesday. Glad to come to you guys this morning. And I just want to share, I want to kind of recap just a little bit the sermon on Sunday and talk about, once again, this blind man who's healed by Jesus. If you can go on our Facebook page, you can go on our YouTube channel, you can hear Sunday's message. I just want to recap a little, maybe give a little bit more insight into some of these points that I made that day. And really, so the story is of the blind man who's healed by Jesus in John chapter 9. And this man, after Jesus heals him, he becomes one of the most excellent witnesses. And the beauty of this story, that I think if I could really drive home any point from this story, is that this man is not educated in the Bible the way that even a lot of people of the day were, right? So the Jewish kids, they would go to the synagogue, they would be trained up until a certain age, and then if they weren't selected for maybe what we would consider, I don't know, the master's program or whatever, of this to continue to train to be a rabbi or disciple with a rabbi or anything like that, then they went and they did whatever jobs their family had. But if they were selected, they would go farther. But because this kid was blind, he most likely didn't get to do any of that. He most likely wasn't a part of any of those things. So his knowledge of the Bible, his knowledge of Scripture, his knowledge of God, and everything else is limited to what his family would have instructed him in as he was growing up. We know that in society he was allowed to be a beggar. I mean, there really wasn't much else he could do in society other than sit at the gate and beg and hope that someone had pity on him and gave him a little bit of money. That was kind of the life that he was allowed, and what his life was reduced to in that time. And so we see Jesus heal him. We see Jesus restore him. And as he's restored, he's given new opportunity for life. He's going to be able to learn a trade and get a job now. His life is going to have purpose. It's going to have meaning in a way that it never has before. Obviously, he's given salvation, and that is even more valuable than eyesight, as his encounter with Christ causes him to become a follower of Christ. But from then on, we see the simplicity of his witness of, listen, I don't know, at first when they're saying he's a sinner because Jesus healed him on the Sabbath, he's saying, listen, I don't know if he's a sinner or not. What I know is I was blind and now I see. And for so many of us, I think if we truly think about our conversion moments and the moments where, for me, I've grown up in church. I can't remember ever exactly having a moment where I prayed the sinner's prayer as a child. I know I kind of rededicated my heart to the Lord in high school and, throughout some of those moments and things. But when I really think about moments in my life where I really got serious about Christ and about Jesus and about his work on the cross and everything else, those moments and those things, when I think about that, I'm like, you know what? That changed me. That changed me in a way that it I can't even begin to describe, right? I began to want to do things differently. I began to want to see things differently. I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to make him proud. I wanted to do the things that he called me to do. And so because of those decisions, it changed me forever. Well, an encounter with Christ will do that for you. An encounter with Christ will change the trajectory of your life. It will change everything about you. And here's this man having an encounter like this with Jesus, and it changes. And he has the most simple witness. I was blind and now I see. Listen, I can't explain to you the mysteries of the cosmos. I can't, use proper hermeneutics to properly, teach you Scripture or any of these things. He hasn't had any of those things. He doesn't know the pathos, ethos, and logos of an argument or any of those things. It's not what he knows. What does he say? He says, I know this. I was blind, but now I see. And for so many of us, as we encounter people in our lives, in our daily lives, and in our faith, not having all the answers to all the questions is not the most important thing. What is important is saying, let me tell you who Jesus is. Let me explain to you who Jesus is. This is who I was, and this is who I am now. Our own I was blind, but now I see story. Our own I was blind, but now I see moment, because I believe that all Christians have one. It may not be as spectacular as I was blind, but now I see. But I'm going to tell you, you have a witness. You have a testimony. I used to, I was one of those people who I grew up not really having the crazy testimony growing up. And I've had students in youth ministry over the years who have had the same complaint that I didn't I don't have this crazy testimony. I used to always tell them not having a crazy testimony is in itself a testimony, that God kept you, that God spared you, that because of your faith, you didn't walk down roads that other people had to walk down. So take that this morning too as just a little bit of faith. If you don't have I was saved out of, drunkenness and drugs and sexuality and all of these things, if you didn't have that testimony, if you said, I have faithfully followed Jesus my entire life, that in and of itself is a testimony. It shows your commitment to Christ from an early age, that you fell in love with Jesus and nothing was going to tear you away from him. So I hope that challenges you. I hope that helps you to be effective for Christ in all that you do. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys all Wednesday night at church. So we'll see you later. Bye.